Hello everyone, my name is Catalyst and welcome to the How to Not Suck series, the grammatically incorrect series that teaches you how to play Battlefield. As you may know, we are going through every single specialist in the game before going to some more in-depth videos, going through each one, learning how to most optimally play them, and learn their quirks and tricks before suggesting loadouts for them. The previous episode was on Irish, so if you have not seen that video or are interested in watching it, you can click the card in the top right hand corner of your screen if you're on desktop, or you can click the thumbnail at the end screen of this video. This video is going to be covering Jisoo Paik, the one specialist that we all took a look at before lunch and said, "Really, Dice? Wall hacks? Are you serious?" But in practice, and this may be a bit controversial, I don't think she is as strong as people think she is. Don't get me wrong, there are certain setups and situations in which Paik's ability is extremely strong, but there are some checks, balances, and considerations in place that keep her from being an across-the-board top 3 specialist. You may be curious as to why I think that, so in today's video we will go over why I think that is the case, go over her abilities, when the best time to use them are, and how to outplay your opponents with the scanner. If you are ready, I'm ready. Let's get to work. Now, normally in these guide videos, I like to diversify the gameplay that you watch in the background, you know, have some different weapons in different situations, but for today's gameplay, I thought I would just run the singular gameplay in the background, mostly unedited, because I think it captures quite nicely the pros and cons of playing Paik, and it's a nice visual aid to the things that I'm going to be discussing in the video today. And that general idea is that I don't think Paik is that overpowered, despite having a, pardon my French here, bullshit ability. I know that sounds super contradicting, but what I found with playing Paik is that she requires a certain level of game sense that might be hard for some to achieve, and you are kind of forced to play a certain way in order to get the most out of her ability, and that ability has one major downside that you may not know about. Paik's ability is her EMG scanner, which sends out scanning pulses up to 25 meters in any direction. The ability lasts for 8 seconds, and you get a total of 4 scans before the ability deactivates. Once it deactivates, there is a 30-second cooldown before you can reactivate the ability again. A common misconception is that if you end her ability early, it will reduce the cooldown timer, and that's actually false. The cooldown timer is about 30 seconds for her ability, no matter if you stop it after the first pulse or if you continue to use it for the entire duration. Paik's passive ability is called Threat Detection, which spots enemies that do damage to you for about 3 seconds. Just like with her main ability, this spotting can be done in any direction, horizontal and vertical. And of course, it should be fairly obvious at this point, but these spots are full strength. Your opponents will be marked on the minimap for you and your teammates. You will see them through walls, and their classes will be displayed above their heads. Now, some of you are probably thinking, that sounds incredibly overpowered, and Catalyst, you're saying that she isn't that good. Are you smoking something? Well, that's because there is one huge drawback to using Paik's EMG scanner. When you use her EMG scanner, you are spotted on all enemies' minimaps for the duration that you use her ability, which again is about 8 seconds. In the background, you are seeing some footage from my pal SMK Gaming's video on Paik, which he graciously allowed me to use the footage for this video, and you can see that in the test he was conducting, his friends knew exactly where he was every single time because Paik is permanently spotted on the map while using her ability. And you might be thinking to yourself, well, that's not such a big deal, and yeah, it kind of is. There are a lot of compounding factors here that make this a really big deal, and it starts with the fact that you are spotted on the entire map when using her scanner, not just within the 25 meters that the scanner pulses at. With the player count of 2042, that's a lot of people that know exactly where you are, and with a lot of the maps in Battlefield 2042 having a lot of open spaces that you need to cross, it becomes that much more dangerous for you. Now, of course, not everybody is always looking at their minimap all the time, but that doesn't make this any better because Paik's usefulness essentially comes down to the skill level of your opponents on top of the sheer odds that you face when you play the all-out warfare game modes. Now, obviously, with the 64-player versions, it's not as bad, but it still can be overwhelming, and it's still a lot of people that know exactly where you are in a quick time-to-kill game in which the only range that you are receiving benefits from using the scanner is 25 meters. meters, which isn't that far. And on top of that, even if you spot someone or multiple people, you still have to win your gunfights and play the situation correctly. The EMG scanner forces you to play aggressively to get the most out of the ability, but it also puts you in the most danger, and it can be difficult at times to put yourself in good situations. That's why I feel like Paik's effectiveness more than others really comes down to A, how good your opponents are, and B, how good you are. Paik becomes very reliant on self-sustained gadgets to keep her alive, and with her ability being refined to close quarters, you almost have to run an SMG or an M5 with a short barrel in order to be really effective. So with that all being said, what is the best way to play Paik? Well, in my opinion, there is really only one way to play her, and that is to use her scanner as a source of information primarily, rather than using it as a utility to find and eliminate enemies. I would absolutely recommend only using 1 or 2 pulses when using the scanner, and only using it in close quarters engagements. I would try and avoid using the scanner for its entire duration if possible. In the gameplay in the background, you'll see me a lot of the time activate the scanner for 2 pulses, get the information I need, and then instantly turn it off so I'm not spotted on the minimap. And you'll see me do this almost always behind some form of wall or cover that isn't easily destructible. That way I have a general idea about who is where, what classes they are, and I can analyze how to best play the situation. I cannot stress this to you enough, but Paik is not an entry fragger type of specialist. I think the most common type of Paik player that you will come across is the super aggressive sweaty player running a K30 with an extended mag. They are annoying to play against, but in the end they aren't effective because they can't stay alive. They'll just get 2 kills and die instantly. The temptation with Paik is to be on the front lines all the time, scanning and killing enemies, but if you play Paik just a touch slower and smarter, that is where she can become dangerous, and the real trick is finding that line in the sand between too fast and too slow. There are a couple of times in this gameplay where you will see me kick my aggression into maximum overdrive and I get myself killed. Having wall hacks with Paik's EMG scanner gives you a lot of confidence, and it's super important to keep that dialed back so you don't overextend and hyper-focus too strongly on one area. I would suggest getting really familiar with Paik's pulsing distance and try to learn how to manipulate your playstyle to work best within it. And this is going to really also come down to having good game sense and map knowledge, which admittedly doesn't come easy in 2042, and that will take some time. You should either play around the edge of the pulse radius to be the safest you can be while collecting information, or activate the scanner when you are right on top of enemies and or are playing a corner. The range in which you absolutely do not want to activate your scanner is at a medium range when you are running between cover or out in the open. At those medium ranges, it gives enemies enough time to react to you if they spot you on their minimap. At least when you're right on top of the enemies, you will probably be in a position to kill them before they recognize that you're there on the minimap, and if you are right next to enemies, it will be harder for them to see you on their minimap as well. Typically, most players will look forward on their minimap, which is why if you are very close either beside them or beneath or above them, it's very difficult for them to know where you are unless you keep the scanner on for too long. Again, it's very easy to play too fast with Paik, so taking a second to wait, slow down, play smart, and listen for footsteps is really important to your success while playing her. So what is the ideal loadout for Paik? In my opinion, I think that the only real ideal loadout for her is an SMG of your choosing. I prefer the MP9 with her, and you absolutely should run that SMG with extended mags or drum mags depending on which weapon it is, with a suppressor or subsonic rounds if available. With how much Paik is on the minimap with her ability, it is really crucial to stay off the minimap as much as possible while not using her ability. She's one of the very few specialists that I actually actively recommend always running a suppressor on. Do keep in mind that one of the suppressors are actually bugged at the moment. I don't remember which one it is, unfortunately. I think it's the wrapped suppressor. Somebody can correct me in the comments there if you wish. I would also highly recommend running smoke grenades and a med pen with Paik. Again, with how much danger Paik is always in, having as many self-sustained gadgets as you can is important. You can throw smoke and activate your scanner through smoke to kill people effectively, and also use it as a getaway device while you heal up with the med pen. As always, I suggest other compatible specialists to run alongside the specialist if you are in a squad together with friends. For Paik, I suggest Dozer, Casper, and Angel. There aren't many specialists that I would suggest pairing with Dozer, but Paik is one of them simply on the grounds that if you use the scanner and find a bunch of people hiding in a room, having a guy with a ballistic shield lead into the room is a great distraction and helps Paik a lot with taking out multiple enemies. Casper is another compatible specialist for similar reasons to Dozer. With Casper's motion detection suit, he can tell where players are close by, so if you're running in a squad together, your Casper can tell you that there are people nearby when his suit detects them, and you can scan as Paik to find exactly where they are. And lastly, there's the staple, Angel. The real help with Angel here is ammunition. If you are a good Paik player and you are playing the flanks effectively, you will run out of ammo, especially with a fast-firing SMG, so Angel is really good for replenishing ammo and med pens with smoke grenades with the loadout crate. As for where I would rank Paik, I would rank her as the 3rd best specialist in Conquest and the 7th best specialist in Breakthrough. I know that's quite a difference. As overpowered as her ability may seem, I think there is so much going on in Breakthrough that it is hard for Paik to stay alive. And of course, with her needing so much self-sustain, she is not very well equipped to deal with the massive amount of vehicles that are on the game mode as well. More people in a concentrated area just means more people that can spot her on the minimap when she is using her abilities as well. I think she is much better in Conquest, where she can scan more safely and have more outplay opportunities available to her. That's the end of the video, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you found this video useful and enjoyed your time here. If you enjoyed it, drop a like and leave a comment. If you made it to the end of the video, it helps me tremendously in the algorithm. I hope you all had a very relaxing Christmas with family and friends, and I hope you have a happy new year. If you enjoyed this video just that much, you should consider subscribing, as I will be making tons of 2042 content and guides like this one moving forward. I stream 4 nights a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday on my Twitch at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I know I haven't streamed in a while due to the holidays, but we will try to get back into that soon. Once again, thank you all so much for watching. My name is Catalyst, and I will see you all another time.